Hi, I'm Pete Gallivan. Welcome to News to Celebrate. This week we celebrate several Beagles who are getting a second chance in finding loving homes right here in Buffalo and Western New York. Plus, the Sabres keep battling in the playoffs as the pressure builds in their postseason run. And we will take you inside a one-of-a-kind Buffalo museum that features dozens of brains on display. News to Celebrate this week starts right now.
Welcome to the Brain Museum here. Of course, this is one of the models, not an official specimen. There are 90 here. Dr. Chris Cohan is the curator. Nice to see you.
Hi, Kevin.
Who started the museum?
This is Dr. Harold Brody, was a professor here at UB for many, many years. And he created a brain museum so people could come to see what brains look like.
You're a recently retired professor here, but
recently retired.
You're still curator of the museum. This is quite a resource for the students at UB.
The students from the North Campus, the South Campus, and downtown campus, our medical school, come here to look at brains and learn what they look like and learn all the different parts of them.
It's set up in you have three different sort of sections, if you will, of the museum?
You can come in. We have 3 different display cases in the South Campus Museum where you can start looking at the outside surface of the brain, and then as you come into the museum, see other dissections to see the structures below the surface.
Give us some fun facts about the human brain.
The brain never sleeps. We sleep, but your brain is active 24/7. When you look at brains, they pretty much all look the same, so you can't really tell too much about what a person was like from looking at the outside of a brain.
Really?
Male and female are very look identical to one another, and you can't tell anything about intelligence because that all happens underneath the surface.
Aha! All right, so give me a user's guide here. What are some things, some do's and don'ts for everybody on a daily basis?
You want to keep your brain healthy, so first you have to make sure that your body's healthy, make sure that your blood pressure is under control and diabetes is cared for. But beyond that, number one thing is physical activity. Make sure that you're always doing physical activity, incorporating that into your life, because you can reduce your chance for stroke and dementia by increasing physical activity.
The UB South Campus is where this one is, and open to the public. You invite people to come on by.
You can go to the webpage at UB and get in touch with me, and I'll be happy to give you a tour.
Thank you, Doctor. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for
there
visiting.
you go. There you go. He's going to talk about minding his own business. He's minding the minds here. Some 90 specimens. The best way, I think, to find the web page is Google Brain Museum University at Buffalo. On your side, the UB South Campus. I'm Kevin O'Neill, Channel 2 News.
The rivalry all began with the Sabres' very first face-off as the ceremonial puck was dropped between captains Floyd Smith of the Sabres and Jean Beliveau of Montreal. It was also the birth of the Blade.
Game number 1 was a long time ago, and as a boy growing up like the old First Ward, 10 blocks from here, I had the dream come true.
And Rip Simonik is at a front row seat for all of it. He started as a stick boy with the old Buffalo Bisons, and when the Sabres were formed in 1970, he was hired as a member of the equipment staff, doing a lot of the grunt work behind the scenes. He rose through the ranks to the position of equipment manager and one of the main go-to guys for generations of players. Rip spent 50 years with the team, retiring in 2020, and over that half-century collected hundreds of stories and countless memories, many of them involving the Canadiens-Sabres rivalry, like in 1973, when the very young Sabres went up against a Canadiens team loaded with legends and future Hall of Famers, and they took them to 6 games.
Obviously, our first taste of the playoffs was against Montreal, when some of these guys, the French Connection, were on the team, and we took them a long way, you know, and we found out that, you know, when you're in a fight, I mean, Punch was the GM and coach, so, you know, when you get knocked down, you got to get up. That's what the Sabres are doing now.
And another memory involves 2 of his all-time favorite players, both of which are in the Hall of Fame.
The 2 fastest skaters on the ice were in 3 o'clock in the afternoon for an 8 o'clock Hockey Night in Canada game, and Gilbert Perreault and Guy Lafleur. My job as the equipment manager, which I didn't have that much to do then, so what I would do is go and get their pot of coffee and get them an ashtray, a cigarette lighter, and bring a pack of cigarettes, and they would sit and smoke the whole pack, and then around 5 o'clock they'd end up getting done talking French. I didn't know what they were saying. I'm sure they were cutting me up, but other than that, they get on the ice, 2 fastest skaters on the ice. Outstanding, great competitors, great people.
And then there were the matchups against some of the all-time great personalities of the game.
One of the biggest was the year we played when Patrick Waugh, the superstar Montreal goalie, and we just happened to have a superstar goalie too. So Patrick Waugh always thought that Dominic cheated. So he would try to sneak in any way possible to get in and look at Dominic's equipment.
The Canadians called a timeout and accused Dominic of wearing illegal equipment because the brand name on his pads violated league copyright rules. Well, Rip flipped the script on him because he saw that Waugh's pads also violated the very same rule. He says that Patrick Waugh and the entire Montreal bench had some choice words for him in French. Just a few of the many, many memories that live rent-free in Rip Simonic's mind.
But those are the things that you don't forget. They just etched in my mind.
Hey there, well, as we speak, staff members with the Buffalo Sabres are inside of KeyBank Center getting it all prepped and ready for tomorrow's game. We know it's going to be electric, and among those people is Aaron Pike. Let me take you inside the center. When fans are in their seats, they're likely looking at the ice or the video board. And the control room inside of KeyBank Center is where all the magic happens. Several people, including Aaron, the video board director, work behind the scenes to deliver a fan experience that is unique to the Buffalo Sabres. From game highlights to fan reaction, this is a team that has to be ready for it all. And they say it's a completely different beast during playoffs.
And the fans are on top of it at every moment. They're not settling down for anything, and it just brings a whole energy that takes it, I don't know, an energy I've never felt before in my career.
This is a fairly new video board. It's been in the arena for about a year and a half, and Aaron says he notices a difference in what he and the graphics team are able to produce for the big screen. Now, if you'll be in the arena tomorrow or have ever been in the arena and wondered, how do I get my face on that big screen? Well, Aaron tells me that there is no secret formula. It's really just a matter of luck and standing out or being goofy enough for them to notice you. On your side at KeyBank Center, Alyssa Clausell, Channel 2 News.
And despite some less than ideal weather last night, Sabres fans were still out in bunches cheering the team on, including at Canal Side. The fans we spoke with say this was a tough loss, but they know that if this team keeps fighting, there's still a chance at a comeback.
It was a great start. I think the boys got it. They just got to stay on it. Keep putting the pressure on. That's all you can do.
We need to score. We need to stop conforming to their style of game and, play our style of game. Get the win.
We really do. We really do. We got to stop conforming to ours. We got to look towards ourselves, man. We got to look into the city. We really do.
I'm feeling pretty bad. We didn't play the best, but I feel like we're going to win it in Game 6 and take it back here and win it in Game 7. Let's go Sabres.
Game 6 between the Sabres and Canadiens tomorrow night. A Saturday night affair in Montreal. Face off at 8 o'clock. Now, if the Sabres win and tie the series, that decisive Game 7 will come back to Buffalo on Monday.
We're here at Against All Odds in Darien Center, and we're here with the Beagles from Ridgeland Farm that you guys were able to rescue and be with. This is Starbuck. She's obviously very curious right now, but Eileen and Matt, thank you so much for having us. Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys were able to get these 8 of these Beagles?
Yeah, we were involved with the Save the Dogs open rescue at Ridgeland Farm earlier in April. About 1,500 people showed up for a peaceful protest, and at that point we were hoping to do open rescue and save some Beagles from the facility. Unfortunately, it didn't happen at that time because we were met with police resistance. But what happened was that was all caught on social media, and it made a national headline, national stage of bringing light to this issue that animal testing exists. So people started talking about it, politicians started picking up on it, and it opened the door to negotiations with Ridgeland Farm to have some of these Beagles released from the facility. And so we were, one of the first calls to come pick up some Beagles, and we happily did so. We jumped on a plane, took a red eye to Wisconsin, rented a car, bought some crates, loaded up the Beagles, and drove the 12 hours back.
Matt, tell us a little bit about what you've seen, what changes you've seen in them in just a few days.
Absolutely. So They've settled in very nicely. They take so much comfort in one another, which is why 7 of them are all cuddled up over there in one big pile, essentially. We get it. It's a little early still. But at any rate, they're learning to be dogs. They're starting from ground zero. These dogs have never felt grass before. They've never had a treat before. Some of them, they've never had a bed before. So with that in mind, it's a process, but with each day we're seeing them do more and more things. They're learning how to play with a toy, they're learning to accept human contact within reason. So that's where it's a lengthy process, but it's a beautiful thing to see.
And if you're interested, again, we have all the ways for you to donate. We'll have them on our website, WGRZ.com, or of course you can visit Against All Odds website as well. On your side in Darien Center, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
The Sabres are here, and axes and saws and scissors, straight edges, Bowie knives, all sorts of cutlery. Joan Cullen, how are you?
I'm very good.
Why Cattaraugus for a cutlery museum?
Well, the original person, J.B. Champlin, was born here. Mm-hmm. And so he started all these cutlery companies. Mm-hmm. And they all came down from him, and Cattaraugus did, and it moved to Little Valley, and then Case also.
I think of K-Bar and Cutco, and there was an Ontario knife company as well. How many at one point?
250.
250. That's extraordinary.
Yeah, it is. It is. They were all over.
We're celebrating 125 years here, and we talked to you of 125 years ago. It just goes to show you how the deep history that Cattaraugus has with cutlery.
Oh, yeah. You see, especially that's 125 years ago. Mm-hmm. And they were on, like you say, the cutting edge of the edge tool industry. And there they are displaying. I really, the giant service fork that you see
funny. And there was a huge knife, too.
Yeah.
125 years ago. And again, who would enjoy a trip here, do you think?
I think anybody, whether you're young or old, would like to come here because there's so much history here. There's just history of the whole country. There's history of the village. There's history of the area. Yes. I think it would be interesting to all.
You guys have done an extraordinary job, and every blade here has a little story to it as well. And again, we're celebrating Western New York at one point, with steel from Buffalo, with steel from Pittsburgh. The southern tier was just a hotbed for cutlery manufacturing. On your side in the village of Cattaraugus, I'm Kevin O'Neill, Channel 2 News.
Senior residents at the Brothers of Mercy Wellness Campus in Clarence are becoming works of art. Yes, prominent Western New York artists are sketching and painting portraits of the senior citizens as part of a program called Wellness Through Art. Organizers say the project is designed to promote creativity, connection, and community across the campus.
Our residents are wonderful. They're like our family, and when we put the word out there, if they would like to model, many of our residents stepped forward. They're always willing to be a part of whatever we're doing.
And the portraits will be featured in a summer exhibit at the Montabaur Heights Art Gallery, with residents also getting to keep a portrait of their own.
Niagara University is teaming up with Rich Products and a university in Vietnam for a new business program. 4 students will be selected as Rich Products Scholars, getting hands-on experience and mentorship around the food industry. Vietnam's Foreign Trade University will help students learn how the industry works on a global scale.
Companies these days really want students to have done an internship. And this program actually has all of our Rich Products Scholars do an internship after their junior year with Rich Products. And they also have a mentor located in Rich Products, too, to help them along with professional decisions.
University leaders say the overseas partnership presents particular advantages for both students and Rich Products.
Well, Darien Lake has announced its first day of the season is going to be this Friday. The park is going to open with some new improvements along Main Street and 500 feet of new track on the Titan wooden roller coaster. Fan favorites are also returning this season, like the Laser Light Spectacular, the 4th of July celebration, and Oktoberfest. Children between the ages of 3 and 5 can get in for free through the end of this month. And if you or someone you know is looking for a job, the park also says it's still hiring for the summer season.
Across Buffalo's east side,
The sound of pain turning into purpose was unmistakable.
We can't bring the lives back, we can't do things like that, but what we can do is inspire people to see that there is good going on.
Over 600 volunteers taking part in a day of action to honor 10 lives lost.
This is an effort to beautify the garden in the name of Miss Catherine Massey.
Catherine Massey was known as a community advocate. She was one of the 10 taken during the racist mass shooting inside of the Jefferson Avenue Tops.
This was something that she would have been done without the cameras, without all this would have been her.
But this is a community that didn't shudder when the unthinkable happened, but instead dug deeper. Wrapping their arms around one another at a time when
it's very easy to be apathetic because there's so much going on.
Kim Lavere says this is a community that is anything but that.
And it's just been really beautiful to see.
She's with Clementine Gold Group, the organization that made this day of action possible. And then made sure that there was a space for rest and community afterwards.
And we just wanted everyone to be seen in this day, come together as a community and love on one another as well.
The group's president says it's not only a show of support and love, it's a statement.
Black joy is a form of resistance, and at the end of the day, we need to still be centered in joy, even amongst, such a tragedy.
The gathering, featuring free haircuts, food, and community resources, part of the effort to invest in a neighborhood that has faced systemic challenges for far longer than 4 years.
And thinking about, how do we envision the future moving forward and make sure that this collective action doesn't just end here now, but moves beyond the day.
After 15 years as president at the University at Buffalo, Dr. Satish Tripathi is winding down, and he's talking about his career here at UB.
This is it.
Well, this is fun. This week is really great week. We are graduating students. It's a great honor and privilege to be president of a great research university, a university that's a member of AAU, a flagship of SUNY.
What are you most proud of here?
I'm proud of the students that graduate from here. Really, they do good things, and you always hear. I go around the country, around the world, and see how well they're doing.
During his tenure, UB experienced major growth in research.
I personally feel that moving the medical school downtown has been one of the major sort of initiative of the university, and its impact to the city of Buffalo, to Western New York.
And he points to the National Center for AI.
This is not AI just for AI's sake. This is AI for societal impact.
Dr. Tripathi said leading UB has been both a privilege and deeply personal accomplishment.
I'm proud of the institution that is doing all these things. I'm just a person here. It's the institution that's contributing to it.
Dr. Tripathi will officially be done as president in July. He will take a sabbatical and return as a faculty member. The next president could be named in a few weeks. On your side, at UB, Claudine Ewing, Channel 2 News.
So I found out you become a distinguished professor when you receive national recognition, and we have a distinguished professor here, and then just a regular run-of-the-mill professor. Do you hold it over her now that do you have to hold the door for her now that she's distinguished?
All the time.
Do you just rub it in her face now?
Always, always.
Just kidding. My friends Jerry and Betty, the doctors Bard and Capella, 30 years now. Congratulations for Project Flight.
Thank you.
What a milestone, and what a difference we've made with this.
I think we have. When you, I can't tell you how many stories I can tell you about children who 30 years ago got a book and then come back to us and say, Dr. Capella, you don't remember me, but you gave me a book. I just need to tell you that I'm a lawyer now, defense lawyer, and I help other people who are indigent and at risk.
We're making a difference with every day, and
every day.
You must have lots of stories like this. So I'll ask you, what's your favorite part of this?
My favorite part of this is seeing children respond to books. My favorite part of this is seeing children respond to and realize there's a community outside of their family that cares about them. They are children, but there are many adults who understand who they are and who care about their future and will work awfully hard to ensure that they have a future, and literacy is at the core of that.
I want to thank you once again for founding this program, and Channel 2
welcome.
hopped on board in 2009. I want to make sure people get the information. It was quite a busy morning here. We just had a donation of 1,500 books dropped off some wonderful young men and women from Timon, St. Francis, and Mount Mercy combining for that. It's not too late for you to be a part of this. Again, we're at 5275 Sheridan Drive, that Amherst in the Sheridan, that Wegmans in the Amherst Williamsville location. But any Wegmans, Erie, and Niagara County over the next week, you will see a Project Flight display there. We encourage you to buy a book. It'll go in the hands of another of a Western New York child. Of course, Paula's Donuts locations, any Buffalo and Erie County Public Library location, the Buffalo News location at the Larkin Exchange Building as well. Be a part of this program. Channel 2 is happy to be a part of this. Again, over 3 million books have been collected. We hope you'll be a part of this as well. On your side, from the Amherst Williamsville Wegmans, I'm Kevin O'Neill, Channel 2 News.
M&T Bank is celebrating the start of its Community Impact Week. More than 2,000 employees across Western New York will take the time to volunteer, doing things like community cleanup, serving food donations, and taking on small construction projects. It's all in partnership with dozens of local organizations and nonprofits.
Our branches really wanted to get into the mix, and they wanted to be involved. And so our branches across Western New York have decided to do a food drive this year. So you can stop by any local M&T branch and drop off non-perishable foods. They'll be collected through this Friday, May 15th, and we'll be giving those food donations to local food banks and other food distributions right here in Western New York.
Today, the initiative kicked off with employees packing 25,000 poncho packs to benefit the teacher's desk with school supplies, books, and hygiene items. Poncho packs pay tribute to the legacy of late Bill's superfan, Pancho Villa. The Western New York Women's Foundation is getting ready for its annual Leadership Summit later this month on Friday, the 29th. The foundation is inviting both men and women from all career backgrounds to UB's Center of the Arts. The goal is to build community and empower aspiring leaders.
We definitely have a UB keynote speaker panel that is our opening session, and UB has amassed a really lovely group of alumni, including an astronaut.
Wow.
So it's a very dynamic group of women, but we've also looked at the acumen that our attendees are looking to gain, and we've found speakers to really match that acumen.
Tickets for the Leadership Summit are on sale right now. We are celebrating local businesses and cuisines across Western New York. The General Pulaski Association is hosting a multi-ethnic restaurant week with special menus and discounts. It runs through Sunday, and organizers say the goal is to help Western New Yorkers discover some new cuisines and learn more about local restaurants.
A lot of these restaurants, they lay the fabric for our cultural community.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are keeping it going. So as much as we might be proud to be Polish or Italian, but you might have 50% of something else that there's no community organization a part of it. And these are the people that are keeping that tradition going. But you know, how many times do you drive down the road and you see that little restaurant that you never even think about going? And this is another reason to give that restaurant a chance.
And as it wraps up, there's also a special event highlighting the work and impact of Asian American leaders at the Buffalo History Museum. That's on May 17th. It's all in celebration of Erie County's 250th anniversary.
And that is news to celebrate this week, highlighting the people, pets, and places making Western New York proud. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.